Hey guys, this is Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my special guest is Justin, the flipping accountant. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, just in case the people in the chat don't know who you are. I'll put you on full screen.
Sure. My name's Justin. I am a CPA. I work full time in the accounting industry, and in my spare time, my part time, I am a seller on Amazon, eBay, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, just about every other platform you can get on. But my main focus on reselling is like Amazon and eBay, and I sell video games, toys, electronics, media, DVD, just about anything I can get my hands on.
Okay, awesome. So what have you been up to since I saw you last, Justin? Man, I saw some of your stuff on Instagram and YouTube. Looks like you've been staying busy.
Yeah, I've been staying really busy. I work full time, so I work 40 hours a week, and then in my spare time, that's when I try to do my side hustle stuff. And
Yeah.
everything going on has definitely made it more difficult. Just not going sourcing as much, trying to stay away from crowds, that kind of stuff. But I'm fortunate enough that I can do my job from home, and then when I'm ready to go out, I can go outside and do my sourcing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's kind of might be a blessing in disguise that you get to work from home. So you're not having to spend your gas money. You're not having to fight rush hour traffic. You don't
Yep.
have to deal with all this craziness, and it cuts out time of your commute. So tell me, man, what's been going on with you, man? I saw on Instagram lately that tell me about some of these sourcing stuff that you've been doing. I saw the video game that you picked up lately, Mr. Potato Head. You were outsourcing Legos. Like you got a whole bunch of merchandise. Like what kind of merchandise have you been sourcing lately? Because you said you had totes of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm kind of all over the place right now, but it's a lot of the stores are they're changing their mods, like they're getting out like new inventory, getting ready for all the new toys and stuff. So they're clearancing out a lot of their old toys, especially
Yeah.
like Legos. Like there's a lot of new Lego sets that just came out. They're coming out soon. So Walmart has to get rid of all of their old Legos. So I'm trying to go around and buy as many Legos as I can at reasonable prices and save them probably for like 6 months to a year, because what most people do, and what I've done before, I'm guilty of it, is when stuff goes on clearance, people buy it and then they sell it in as they send it in as quickly as they can, and then it just becomes like a rush to the bottom. It only takes two people to do that, two people dropping prices against each other to do that. And once you get 1,000 people with the same Lego set or the same toy, I mean, it just tanks. So I'm trying to stock up on toys right now and electronics and stuff and hold it for a few months until the price comes back up.
Yeah, I understand. Sometimes I go to the Dollar Tree and I'll get Blu-rays or DVDs, and it's like the supply is so plentiful that there's people that's selling it for like $4.99 free shipping. And I'm just like, bro, the shipping's going to cost medium at least $3. You paid
Right.
$1 for the item. I'm like, what are you doing? So I
Right.
don't argue with them. I'll just go ahead and list my item. Like I have an item I picked up yesterday at the Dollar Tree. I paid $1 for it, and it sells for $20 on eBay. So I
Yeah.
just go ahead and list the item and wait till they sell out, and then once everybody else sells out, then they got to come to me for full price.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Amazon though, you don't want to be shipping it in right away and then list it for full asking price and then get all those fees tacked on, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what happens is like, an item goes on clearance on one store, but it's really on clearance in like 1,000 stores. And then all it takes is, 100 people like us reselling stuff to ship it into FBA, and then the price just plummets. So, I mean, I'm going around sourcing. I'm buying as many good deals as I can find right now. And I'm going to save it and store it for a few months. And, I'm going to try to document it as much as I can to show, what the difference is. Like I'm recording some prices now, and in 6 months when I sell the toys, I can be like, hey, here's what happened to the price. Here's what happened to the profit. It was actually worth it,
Yeah, I think some people they just either they can't do it financially, or their mind is they have to make a quick buck like instantly. Like as soon as they buy the item, they want to hurry up and flip it as soon as possible. And
Right.
I'm just like, no, if I've got 50 cents or $1 tied up in the item or whatever, I can just wait for it to sell. I'd rather get full asking price instead of getting 10 cents on the dollar of what you could have sold it for. I wanted to say hi to the Thrifty Lobsters in the chat, and Cali Reseller Lewis is here. So
What up,
thank you
Lewis?
guys for Thank you guys for stopping and hanging out. We're hanging out with Justin, the flipping accountant. So if you have questions, drop it in the chat. Tell people exactly where you're from again. You live up in Michigan, right?
Well, I'm originally from Michigan, but I live in northern Alabama.
You're in Alabama now. Okay.
I'm in northern Alabama, and I've been here for about a few years now. And yeah, no, the weather's not too bad. It's not too cold out there, so I don't mind going out sourcing and stuff like that. But in Michigan, it's cold up there. They be getting snow, and I miss going up there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go up there around Christmas time and New Year's, which I normally do.
Okay.
So I'm kind of missing my family, but I'll go up there when I get a chance.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were up there in Michigan. I don't know why I kept thinking that. All right. So tell everybody.
Memory.
I'm trying to remember. So anyways, so Justin, tell everybody what else has been going on. So you're a full-time accountant, and you're a reseller, and you sell on eBay, Amazon. You also sell locally as well. Do you have what other platforms do you currently sell on?
Yeah, so my biggest platforms that I sell on is probably Amazon and eBay, but Facebook Marketplace has been a great another avenue for me for selling stuff. Around Christmas time, I mean, it was hot. Like I was selling stuff left and right. People were trying to get toys before Christmas, and I mean Q4. I know we haven't talked in a few months, but Q4 was super busy. It was ridiculous. Amazon, just like the velocity was crazy. If you could, if you could find the right toys, or if you could find the right things that people were looking for, I mean, it was insane. I was pumping out 50, 60 orders a day. So Amazon kept me mostly busy, but I did a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace too. It's just supply and demand. It's not none of it's essential items. It's like, you don't essentially need a Lego set, but if you really want this Star Wars one before Christmas, it was like I had it, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was sold a couple things locally. The other day I sold this it was a DVD VCR combo thing, and I think I picked it up at the thrift store for like $6-7, and I sold it locally for $50.
Nice.
That way I didn't have to pay no eBay fees or PayPal fees, or nothing was taken out of it. So it's nice. And plus the guy just met me at my location, so I didn't have to drive 45 minutes to meet him somewhere. And I was able to just like, here you go, here's your DVD VCR combo. The guy handed me my $50, and it was like a 2-minute transaction, and we both went on about our day. So, you can also sell stuff locally as well. And that's nice, especially if it's bigger, bulkier items that you really don't want to ship,
Yep.
So
absolutely. I do a lot of porch pickup stuff. Like I put it right in the listing. Like, hey, I'm located near this area. We'll do porch pickup, cash only. People try to use like Cash App or PayPal or whatever. Like I'll accept PayPal if I have to, but people try to use those new apps and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. Just, I take that green paper. That's about it.
Right. I'm with you on that. I wanted to say hi to Mel from Back from Burnout, came by to hang out with us. We got Thrifting After Work is here, and Guan Tpday. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm not very good at pronouncing names, but he says roll tide or go blue. Yeah, so he's in Alabama, so I'm sure he's roll tide. So so Justin, man, can give us some sourcing techniques, because I saw lately you've been hitting up a lot of clearance places at Walgreens, Walmart, some of these locations. Tell us all about the clearance game. Tell us what we need to look for, who we need to talk to, what do we need to do? Tell us.
Yeah. So definitely, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. The most tedious way, but the most successful for me, has just been taking the time to just use the Walmart app. Like I go to Walmart a lot, and I use the Walmart app, and you can use the Walmart app to scan the barcodes while you're in the store, and it'll tell you what the actual price is in the store. So I've been making videos lately about like secret clearance and stuff like that. And that's basically when something is on clearance, but the price isn't actually marked, so you don't actually know. So if you're patient enough and you can take the time to go through and scan stuff, you can find stuff that is actually cheaper in the system than it's marked on the shelf. Oh, thanks for stopping. I know you said you got a conference call, but I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, Justin, I'll be right back. I'm having connective issues. I'll be right back.
Sure. So I guess I'll just hang here for a minute and talk more about clearance stuff, which is fine. But anyways, I do a lot of scanning stuff with the Walmart app. I've joined some Facebook groups. I started following some different deal groups and deal pages and stuff like that, where people like they find that like that's what they do all the time is they go out looking for clearance stuff and then they post about it and it's like, oh well, I could look for that, or maybe if they have this item on clearance, maybe they have some other items on clearance too. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. Walgreens has been pretty good lately because they've been doing like after Christmas clearance because they usually have like a whole row full of Christmas clearance stuff and toys and gifts and candy and all that kind of stuff. And some of that's actually really good for resale. I don't know if anyone in here actually looks for that kind of stuff, but they do have a lot of different gifts and some stuff that actually sells well.
Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. I'm trying to stream from my house. Usually I live kind of out in the country, so yeah. There's pros and cons with that. So sorry about that. So Justin, anyway, so when you're doing some of this hidden clearance, basically like Walmart or some of these places, they have items that they're marking down on clearance, but they didn't like go through and put the effort to putting the tags in. So you like go use the Walmart app and then like do some hidden clearance, and you're able to find items that are actually in a bigger discount than what you thought they were. Kind of explain what your technique is and what kind of margins are you looking for when you're at some of these places.
Sure. It just kind of depends, like as far as like margins and stuff like that. But I'm trying to buy stuff at a clearance rate that if I were to sell it today, I'd at least double my money. But like I told you, like my plan is to essentially like buy stuff and hold it for a little while. So that's why I'm thinking like, okay, worst case, if I sold it today, I can make some money. Like just to give you an example, and this will be kind of a bolo for anybody watching. I found a bunch of these little Mario poly bags at Walmart, and these are $1 at my store. So I got, I don't know, like 20 or 30 of these, and this is normally a $5 set. So like on Amazon, this is selling for like $7 or $8. So like worst case scenario, I could sell this right now and like double or triple my money, but I'm going to hold on to these for 6 months to a year. And, hopefully the price is going to go up because that's generally what happens with Legos. But anyone that, is looking at different stores or clearance or whatever, all you got to do is just, if you go to Walmart, just take the scanner, scan the barcode, and it'll tell you what the price is in the store. And, basically, that's all I do is I'm looking for stuff I can double or triple my money like today. And if I know I'm good on it today, I know I'm going to be good in 6 months to a year. Like I'm just not, I'm not too concerned about it. What I didn't plan for, though, is how much stuff I'm accumulating and I'm running out of space quicker than I thought that was going to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lewis says he's been selling those Super Mario Legos since November. A great bolo. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today, Cali Reseller Lewis. Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you about is how your storage is going, and have you thought about maybe offloading some of them, maybe on eBay or something, or try to sell them locally? But like if you for example, those bag of Legos you showed, you paid $1 for them, and if you were to sell them on Amazon, let's say for $7, how much of that would Amazon take out in fees? Because you have to cover your shipping costs. Amazon's going to take their fees, and then also you have another pick and pack fee, and then you have a storage fee. So there's like 3 different fees that you have to go through.
Right. And that's the thing too. It's like with smaller stuff, those other fees are smaller compared to like a bigger item. But on smaller stuff like that, the fees are a lot smaller. Plus, if I did merchant fulfilled, it's only like 15% of a fee that they would charge, and then you have to pay for shipping. So like after fees, if I were to sell it right now, I'd make like $3 profit, which isn't a ton, but on $1 investment, I'm still tripling my money. But the thing is, like, I could fit, I bought totes and stuff, and I could fit probably 500 of these into a tote. So then I know I've got, 500 stored away for 6 months or a year. But a benefit to being organized or trying to be organized is I have spreadsheets built with all of my inventory. I know what is in every tote. I know what I paid for it. I know the set number. I know the price. I know the MSRP. So at any time I can be like, oh, this, somebody's looking for a Star Wars Lego set. I just punch in the set number and I can go, oh, okay, I have 3 in this tote. I have 2 in this tote, and here's what I paid for it. And then here's what I have to get out of it. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't say anything. I was about to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm
okay. I was going to catch some people in the chat. I wanted to say hi to Mel from back from Burnout. We got Lewis here all the way from Germany. Sir Flips a lot. You were there hanging out with us in the chat the other day. I just couldn't pronounce that German city to save my life. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Next time we have to say something, pronounce something in German, we'll let Justin do it. And we got the Thrifty Lobster is here hanging out with us. So, Justin, what I was going to ask you is, can you give us some tips or pointers? Because I'm pretty good. I'm learning the whole eBay thing, but I'm
Yeah.
like a rookie on Amazon. So, if someone wanted to start selling on Amazon, like give us ins and outs, give us the info. What do we need to do? Like, what are things that we need to do to get started on selling on Amazon, and give us maybe tips or tricks on things that we should look for.
Sure. So anyone starting on Amazon, it's there's kind of a steep learning curve, and some people kind of get nervous about it just because there's so many things you have to learn. But I would suggest start by selling like books. And I would that's kind of how I started, was like I found books at garage sales and estate sales and thrift stores, because books generally have a low cost, a low starting point, but some of them can have an amazing return on investment or a profit margin, which is just fantastic. I mean, there's something special about buying a book for 50 cents or $1 and selling it for like 80 to 100. And you kind of by doing that, you can kind of learn the system. You can learn how Amazon works. You can do the FBA. You can start sending stuff into their platform and learn how that works. So once you understand the mechanics of how FBA works, and you feel comfortable with the system, buying stuff, shipping it, prepping it, sending it to their website and all that kind of stuff, then you can get into other types of categories, other things like groceries, toys, video games, electronics. A lot of people don't know or don't realize you can sell used electronics on Amazon, and a lot of them are worth good money. And I see Thrifting After Work making a few comments, but he made a comment about secret clearance earlier. He said he did some secret clearance and found some really good stuff, but his son is claiming one of his Lego sets. But I want to make sure I saw that comment. But yeah, that's how I would get started. I would start with books and then get into used electronics and video games and that kind of stuff, and just grow into different and new categories.
Yeah, awesome. I wanted to say hi to SC Thrifted Treasures. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. So what I wanted to ask you is that, see, what Justin didn't explain is, like Legos, when you're first getting started, you're gated in some of these categories, right? So can you explain that? Do they just automatically ungate you over time, or do you have to send in a request? You have to send in like a wholesale paperwork? How do you go about getting ungated in some of these categories? Because Amazon's a little bit different than eBay. Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay. Well, you don't have to. I don't want to keep looking at myself, but no, it's fine. But whatever. So when you're starting off on Amazon, there are a lot of categories that Jeff called that it's gated. And that basically means that those categories you can't sell in until you get approval to list in those categories. So for example, like Lego is a gated category. Now there's two ways to get ungated. You can sell on the platform long enough to show Amazon that you're a credible seller, you have good metrics, you have good sell-through rate, all of these things. And eventually over time, they will allow you to apply to certain categories and get ungated. So if you hear ungated, that's what it means. So if you have a good history, they'll ungate you in these products, and then you can start selling them. Some categories will just unlock over time. Other categories, they generally will not unlock over time, and you have to buy something from an authorized distributor. You have to buy 10 of a single item from an authorized distributor, and then you have to submit an invoice, and that's how Amazon will approve you to let you sell in that category.
Yeah, so some of them you said that they'll just be ungated over time, and some of them you're having to go in, buy 10 of them in a category. So you're sending in invoices, and you basically are trying to apply to get ungated in these certain categories.
Right. Absolutely. So like some categories, just for an example, let's say like Lego, that might just ungate over time. Other categories will not ungate over time, like DVDs and CDs. You won't just 99% of the time, you won't just be ungated in that category, no matter how good your metrics are. You have to buy from somebody that Amazon considers an authorized distributor or an authorized wholesaler. Here's the problem. They don't tell you who they accept and who they don't accept. There's a lot of good information out there. There's free stuff. There's free information. There's paid information. But essentially what you have to do, the legwork, is you have to find the companies that Amazon will accept their invoices from, so you can use to get ungated. So like if I wanted to sell Legos, let's say like I couldn't sell Legos, but I want to sell Legos, I'd have to find a company that wholesales these or is a distributor, buy 10 of this item, and then send Amazon an invoice and saying, hey, I bought 10 Legos from an authorized distributor. And then if they consider it to be a good distributor or a good wholesaler, then they will approve you.
Yeah. I was going to say when you're doing Amazon, I've heard of people trying to go send in 3 or 4 invoices before for them to get ungated in certain categories. So it doesn't always happen on the first try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any other advice that you could give somebody if they want to get started selling on Amazon or eBay just in general? Do you have like maybe 3 or 4 tips that would help somebody grow their business? Because I don't know if it's true or not. I saw something on Instagram. It says you're a 6-figure reseller now. Is that correct, Justin? Tell us the truth. What happened?
Yeah. So the thing is like some people, people talk about their numbers. A lot of Amazon sellers will talk about their numbers, but they don't talk about specifics of like what they sell. I'm not too concerned about sharing what I sell because I know there's enough stuff for everybody out there. But I am a 6-figure reseller or a 6-figure merchant or whatever. That basically means like in a calendar year, I've done over $100,000 in gross sales. So that just means like my gross sales are $100,000, but or more. But what that doesn't account for is that doesn't account for Amazon fees. That doesn't account for cost of goods sold, doesn't account for my expenses, my subscriptions, like all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, like from a 10,000 foot view, like, yes, I did over 100,000 on Amazon last year, but I mean, I didn't make $100,000 in profit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, by the time you take out your cost of goods, then you pay out your shipping fees, then you take out your pick and pack fees that Amazon has, plus their storage fees. I would say maybe, I don't know, I don't know your number specifically, but I'd say maybe 30-40% of that. Maybe you had 40,000 out of the 100,000 by the time you subtract your cost of goods and fees and all that.
Yeah, I mean that would seem like a reasonable amount of profit on some kind of figure like that, depending on your expenses, depending on what you paid for it. And it also depends on your business model too, because if you're like doing wholesale, your margins are usually a lot slimmer. If somebody is doing like thrifting or like retail arbitrage, your margins are going to be higher, so you're going to make more profit. But there's also an additional level of time invested where you got to go and find stuff. So it just depends. But Amazon and eBay, I mean, I would start by researching. I would start by looking on YouTube, finding some good information out there. There's a lot of free information. There's great channels where people tell you exactly what they sell, and they say, hey, here's what I bought, here's what it sold for. Like people do some great what sold videos for eBay, and just kind of like start with what Like I don't know much about clothes. I wish I did. But if clothes, start by selling what you have in your house that's extra. Learn the market, learn what sells, learn how to use the platform you want to sell on, and then you can go out and buy more stuff to sell. But most of us just have tons of crap around our house that we could sell and make extra money with. We just don't take the time to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say also, some people don't know you can also sell used items on Amazon as well. So like if you had used video games or something, you could send them in. It doesn't always have to be new in the shrink wrap stuff, right?
Right. Used books, used electronics, used video games. There are some categories that you can make really good money selling used. And I'll do that, right? Like I'll compare platforms. I'll look at a video game and go, okay, used on Amazon, it's this, used on eBay, it's this. Most of the time for me, I just like using Amazon because I like putting stuff in their warehouse. But sometimes eBay is the better way to go, or maybe Amazon doesn't have a listing for that product, or maybe the listing is incorrect and I won't use a listing if it's wrong. So I'll just put it on eBay.
Okay, awesome. So,
I guess Jeff is having more connectivity issues. Thrifty Lobster, thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging. We appreciate you being here. What is your usual margin on?
Sorry, I'm back. I hit the wrong button. So I was going to, we had a question in the chat. Thrifting After Work, he says, what's your usual margin on Amazon compared to eBay as far as like your margin when items that you're looking to resell?
Yeah, see, that's kind of apples to oranges to me, because like eBay, I mostly put like thrifted items, so my stuff on eBay will generally have much higher margins than my stuff for Amazon will.
Yeah.
but Amazon has much higher velocity, in my opinion. Like it sells much quicker.
Mhm.
So I'll buy something if it has a smaller margin on Amazon, but if I know I'm going to sell 10 of them by tomorrow, I don't really care.
Right. So it's all kind of relative. Like you said, you could sell. You might have higher margins on eBay, but
Right.
you're storing it. You're taking the photos. You're pulling. You're storing the merchandise. You're shipping. You're doing all the legwork behind the scenes. Whereas Amazon, you might have a higher velocity of sell through rate. Right. So
Right.
I wanted
Yeah.
to say hi to Cajun Roots Reseller for coming by and hanging out with us. We
What's up,
got Cali
Johnny?
Reseller Lewis is here. We got Louis here, the Lone Star Picker. He says he just got home. Glad to see you, and glad to see you, Jeff and Justin. So, hey, thanks for coming by. If you guys have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. I got some questions for you, Justin. We're in the
Sure.
year 2021 now. What is some of your projects? What are some of your goals of things that you're working on this year for 2021?
Yeah, so like I said, like my I'm getting more into Lego investing, and that's not a super sexy topic to talk about, I guess, but I think when I get into it and I can talk about the profits that I make and I can actually show people like with visuals and go, "Hey, here's what I bought it for. I held on to it for 6 months and then I sold it and here's what it sold for." I think it's going to draw more interest into it, which may be kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like it might
Yeah.
draw more attention to my social media and all that stuff, but then it might draw people into Lego investing. I'm not sure. But I started getting into it, and it's just a rabbit hole. Like there's people that do it all the time. There's Facebook groups, there's Instagram pages, there's YouTube pages. So I kind of went into a rabbit hole on that one. So I'm going to be doing more Lego investing. This might sound kind of like a weird thing, but I want to get my garage organized because I have a garage and I have a ton of stuff out there. But I think if I utilize my space better, I could fit a lot more stuff out there.
Yeah, I think I saw your YouTube video the other day when you went to Walmart and you picked up like a set of Legos for like $20 and they sold they were selling for like $100 or something on
Yeah,
Amazon. So
yeah,
there are some margins on there. There's a lot of people that collect Legos and it can be a big industry. I don't know a lot about them. I don't really sell them. So, but I do know that some of them are valuable. And if you come across them, if I see something like that in the thrift store, if I see it, I'll grab it. I found one a while back. It was a container that holds Legos. It was like
yeah.
yellow, and a guy had like a little helmet or something on him. Anyways, they
Mhm.
wanted $10 at the thrift store, and it was selling on eBay for like 100. So I grabbed it. But it's
Nice.
not very often that you're going to go to a thrift store and you're going to find Legos that are new sealed. Oftentimes, I don't want to take a gamble and pieces come up missing, or
Right,
sometimes they tape the side of the boxes, and then you
right,
get home and the Legos that are inside of the box is totally different than what's on the packaging.
right.
So Justin, what is you're going to go ahead and reorganize your garage? Like, are you going to get like shelving units? Are you going to have like little plastic bins? Like, what are you planning on doing?
Well, I've been getting more uniform with my organization. Like I have more black storage bins with like the yellow top, like the industrial type bins. I'm getting rid of my older, like cheaper plastic flimsy bins because stuff like falls apart. Sometimes the top will break if there's too much weight, and then the items inside get smushed. I'm gonna go through and like purge and get rid of a lot of stuff that hasn't sold for me, or just stuff that I don't need, or stuff that's not worth listing that is not really worth my time. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff you've had for a couple years and you're like, yeah, I'll get around to listing that. And you never list it. And you're just like, no, I just want to be done. I'm fine with just purging it and getting rid of it because I've already kind of written that stuff off.
I understand. Yeah, I'm at the point now where if its item is less than $10, I don't
Mhm.
even bother listing it on eBay. And
Right.
like I have a bunch of items in my shed in the backyard. There are items that like at the time when I got started, I was like, hey, yeah, I'll sell this for 5, 6, $7. And then
Right.
now once you sit here and think about it, and you're like, okay, subtract cost of goods, subtract, your shipping, subtract all your fees. Now, if I
Right.
sell this item for $5.99, how much money am I actually netting bringing home, and I'm doing all the legwork? So yeah, I'm
Right.
with you. I have some items in my shed that I'm just like, I'm either going to donate them or I'm going to take them to the pawn shop, because believe it or not, you can go to the pawn shop and show up with boxes of merchandise and they'll give you cash on the spot. So
Right.
and also you're killing two birds with one stone because you're freeing up space in your storage unit as well. Lone Star Picker says, question, um, how's the cleanup project affected your spirits, psychologically and emotionally well-being, in terms of streamlining space and using it better, as stated, maximizing space? And he wants to know how your dog is doing.
Yeah, so I saw Louis' question. So my dog was just resting, so I just kind of had to wake him up. But he just got a haircut and he's pretty excited to be here. I was actually working on a video earlier, and I had set up my tripod, and he hates my tripod. I don't know why, but he absolutely detests my tripod. So he was kind of freaking out, but he doesn't even know like the webcam is there. He's kind of strange. But anyways, he's doing well. He just got a haircut. He's living the good life. The organizing stuff, honestly, it's like it's going really well, and I like being more organized. And it's like I have my spreadsheets now, like I know everything that I have. But I'm not kidding you, Jeff. Like the past few days, I have been buying stuff faster than I can put it away and store it and log it. And like right now, like we had our time to hang out, and I wanted to be here tonight. But I'm already thinking about like, okay, when we get done, like, am I going to sort more stuff or am I going to go buy more stuff? But it's a balance. It's just like anything else. You just got to find a good balance of not doing too much of one thing. You don't want to get burnt out.
I'm with you. Yeah, when we get off the live stream, I've got some eBay orders in the shed I got to go pull, and I try to get everything pulled the night before, so that way when I get up, I'm ready to go. I just slap a label on it, drop it in a padded envelope, and I'm not running around looking for the items. So yeah, I'm with you. I got to go pull some orders, and I've got stacks of merchandise. My bedroom's kind of like my processing center, so I'll just like bring in boxes of merchandise, and then like on the right side of my room, by the door, I stack the merchandise and stuff that's listed, and the stuff that's unlisted is on this side of the room. And then once I get 200 or 300 items, then I'll sort through them and take them out to the shed. And then you have to kind of keep it organized because I don't want to mix the merchandise together. So yeah, I totally can relate. So when you're actually out sourcing, are you going to be looking to hit up some thrift stores? Are you going to be doing some yard sales? What are some of the other sourcing techniques that you're looking at? Have you done any Facebook Marketplace deals lately?
Not really. I haven't done much Facebook Marketplace lately, and that's nothing to say about that. It's just normally I would find good deals on there, but I've just been really heavy into the retail arbitrage stuff lately. I have started sourcing at Kohl's lately, and I don't know if anyone sources at Kohl's. I'm in a few Facebook groups, and they talk about sourcing at Kohl's for like bras. And that's not really my main goal of going there. I've been finding Legos and toys there. But once if you go there on certain times, you get Kohl's Cash, which is basically like free in-store credit to use there. So like I was there and I spent like $50 on some Legos, and then they gave me $20 in Kohl's Cash. So now I have $20. So I have to go back. And I'm not very good about spending gift certificates. I don't know why, but I need to like go back and spend that free $20 that I have.
Yeah, that's how they hook you to come back. I was at the Family Dollar store or something the other day, and they gave me a coupon. It said, if you spend $20, we'll give you a $5 discount. And I was thinking like, well, do I want to come back or not? But I didn't go back. I thought about it. I was like, maybe I could go there and just buy stuff that I'm going to need in the future and save $5. Then I was like, no, forget it. I'm not coming back. But so Justin, what are some of the other hot items that you can tell us about that we should be on the lookout for? If I'm at Walgreens or I'm at Walmart, because I saw you had a video game listed on Instagram, you had a Mr. Potato Head. Give us some items that we should be on the lookout for. If I'm with you and we're going to Walmart clearance, where do I need to go look at?
Yeah, so there's one video game that I keep selling and I keep posting about on my page, and I keep finding it, and it's like I don't know if people aren't listening or if there's just so many of this game out there, but I found like this Just Dance 2020 for Nintendo Wii, like the old school Wii, and I keep paying like $15 to $30 for it, and it sells for like 70 to 80. And it's just it's just kind of silly. It's like there's one video game that you can make like 50, $60 on, and it's pretty easy to find. I like to look for, so let's say I'll give you a couple examples, right? If you go to the video game section, all the video games are in a case or they're close to a case or whatever, and there'll be like a sticker near each video game, and it'll tell you the price, right? It'll say like this game is like $29.99. A lot of the games that are deleted in their system at Walmart are not marked, or they won't have a sticker. So what I do is I look for the games that don't have a sticker. Those are the ones that I scan because they don't have a price. And like more often than not, a lot of those are clearance or deleted games in their system that they're hugely marked down, and the employees just haven't taken the time to do it.
All right, so tell us about these 3-cent video games. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I have found plenty of 3-cent video games, and I'll give you one that I found and I sold, and I think I had it in one of my videos. But like Destiny 2 for the PS4 was a 3-cent video game, and it only sold for $12. But I mean, it was like $10 for free, you know. So but that's the thing, is like most of these things are not going to have a sticker that says 3 cents, right? Most of these things are going to be unmarked. So you just have to take the time to just be like, hey, grab an employee or ask them to help you and say, hey, would you mind if I look through these games or scan them or whatever? And it's always best to be honest with them. It's always best to be an honest reseller, because, more people know what you do, more people are willing to help you, and they remember you too. The employees remember you. If you go in there and you have a bad experience, I mean, they're going to remember that. But if you go in there and you're friendly and ask for help and you're upfront with them, then they're going to want to help you, and they're going to remember that, and it just pays dividends in the future.
Sorry, Lone Star Picker made me laugh. He said your eyes were bugging out when he said $50 net value. No, actually, I saw that game he was talking about on Instagram. Right. I followed Justin on Instagram, so I knew what he was talking about, and I followed him on YouTube. That's how I knew to ask him about those 3-cent video games, because not a lot of people are talking about them. So that's funny.
Yeah.
A&D Resellers is here. Says, I feel like a stalker just listening to the conversation and then without saying anything. So here's my comment. Well, thank you for coming by and hanging out with us today. We appreciate you. Wendy is here. She says, technically, the Coast Cash rewards equal free inventory. And we have Cali Reseller Lewis is here. And we got a Cajun Reseller Lewis here hanging out with us. Or Cajun Reseller. I don't know why I had Lewis there. Today's just been one of those days.
Oh, so, I hear you, man. It's all good. Yep.
All right. So Justin, so we talked about retail arbitrage. We talked about the 3-cent video games. We talked about Legos. Anything else that you would like to talk about today that you could think of off the top of your head? What happened with those mini fridges? Did you end up buying them?
I did. I bought 2 shopping carts worth of mini fridges, and I still left, like, and I showed this in my video, like I still left a whole shelf full of them, and I sold all the mini fridges. Like, they're all gone. I think I sold most of them on eBay. I think I sold a few on Facebook Marketplace. I had a few get lost in the mail, and I mean, that was just the USPS. Like, they were just having a hard time around, Christmas time and all that stuff. So, but I made sure to buy insurance on almost everything I sold, because there were a few things that got lost. But yeah, and that's the thing, is like, I don't want to be one of those resellers that gets a bad name for like, oh, you just go in and clear the shelf. Well, I go in to buy stuff, but I try to leave a few items for other people. And I follow different like reseller pages and deal pages and stuff like that. And some people are really good about that. They're like, hey, I grabbed a bunch for me. I left a few for somebody else. Like, we're not trying to be villains out here. We're trying to make money and make it worth our time, but we're also not trying to be greedy and take everything too,
Yeah, some of those mini fridges, I think they were selling for like $10, and I think they were selling online for like $59.99 or something, right? So you had some pretty good profit margins.
Yeah. So the store I went to, they were marked for $10, and I sold them online for like $50-$60 a pop. And like I said, they all sold out. But part of it was how I framed the title, because the silver mini fridges had like a mirrored face to it. So instead of saying like, oh, this is a mini fridge for your soda or whatever, it was like, this is a mini fridge for you to do makeup and for you to like look at yourself and for you to like, use this for personal beauty and all that stuff. And I'm not kidding. Like, those sold like hotcakes before Christmas time, because a lot of people are into that, which is great. A lot of people, do makeup and take care of themselves and all that. But I never had thought of that until I like Googled it and I figured it out. It was like, oh, this is a cool way to put a different perspective on what this item is,
Okay, awesome. Lone Star Picker says, does your significant other become upset with all your products that you take home?
No. I live by myself, just me and my dog, Bernie here. But my significant other lives elsewhere. But the only time she gets upset is if we had plans to hang out and I go sourcing for a couple hours and it turns into a much longer escapade than it should have been, or if I go to Walmart for a few minutes to grab one thing and then it turns into a couple hour trip. That's when I get myself in trouble. But I mean, I kind of do that to myself, so I have no one to blame but me.
Okay. Awesome, Justin. So, I know we talked about this a little bit earlier. If someone is a
Sure.
newer reseller or they want to grow their business, could you maybe give us 2 or 3 tips that would help this person grow their business? Because they're like, hey, I want to be like Justin. I want to grow. I want to be a 6-figure reseller. What are some things that we need to do to be able to grow our business? I mean, first you're going to have some startup capital and you're going to have a place to store everything. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, like I kind of mentioned earlier, like if you're just getting started out, say you're starting with no money and you want to make, you want to make extra money or you want to learn how to sell on a platform, start by selling what you have around the house. Look in your closet, look in your garage, look in your attic. Plenty of us have extra stuff that we don't need that you can start selling and make extra money. That way you learn how to use the platform. You make a little extra money. Then once you feel comfortable in that category, you can take that money and go invest it by purchasing other things to resell. I would also watch YouTube videos. There's a lot of free content out there. People do some great like what sold videos and kind of explain like, hey, here's what I bought. Here's what it sold for. Here's why it's special. Here's why it's hard to find and all that. And you can learn a lot that way. Like, I think it's Ready, Set, Resale does some videos like that where he just like does what sold stuff, but he does a great time. He does a great job explaining why certain items are valuable, and you can gain a lot of free knowledge out there on the internet from people just trying to help. People just trying to share their knowledge. And the thing is that most people just don't take action, or most people just don't take the time to do it. And I've had people ask me like, why are you willing to share information on your Instagram or on your YouTube? Like, why are you talking about this stuff? Aren't you worried about these people like stealing or becoming your competition? It's like, no, because one, the pie is big enough for everybody. There's more than enough stuff out there for all of us to be buying and reselling stuff, and it's not going to hurt me or it's not going to hurt you. And three, most of the time people just don't take action. And taking action is the hardest part because you actually have to put yourself out there and you have to take the time and you have to take the risk and the chance to go out there and buy stuff and try to resell it and all that. And that's the hardest part, honestly.
Yeah, it's just getting up and taking action. I wanted to say hi to Wendy in the chat. A&D Resellers here. I wanted to say hi to the Southern Vintage Picker is here hanging out with us. And Cajun Roots Reseller is here. And Louis, the Lone Star Picker. So yeah, it's just getting started and taking action, and you can kind of learn through trial and error what works and what doesn't work. But right. You can just start off with the items you have in your house, or you can start off small. Like I went to a pawn shop last weekend and I bought this video game for 50 cents. It sold the next day for $30. So you can just start off small. I've had this video idea I wanted to ask you about. If someone got their $600 a stimulus check, how should they invest if they wanted to get started reselling and they had $600 to their name to start their reselling business? What do you recommend they do? Should they start going to yard sales? Should they go to estate sales, thrift stores? Like, where would be a good place to start?
So if I was starting with $600, just hypothetically, if I was starting, I would start the same way that I started, and I would buy things with the highest margin, the highest return on investment that I could. It's kind of like what we've been saying. I would go to thrift stores. I would go to garage sales. I would go to estate sales. I would go to pawn shops. I would find the cheapest item that I could sell for the most money. And this is going to be time consuming though, right? Because in my mind, there's like a spectrum. Like you have time and money. If you don't have a lot of money, you probably have a lot of time, and you can spend more time finding cool stuff. If you have more money and you don't have as much time, then you're willing to accept like a lesser return on investment, stuff like that. So that's like, if I had $600, I would go to the thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales. I would check Facebook Marketplace and, buy books, buy video games, and stick to the categories that because you're going to have some kind of inside knowledge about what brands are good, what things you would look out for. Find something that you're like, hey, I know that's a good deal. And if I know it's a good deal, somebody else is going to be thinking that's a good deal too.
Yeah, it's like if you know video games, you're like, hey, I know this video game's worth $30. You don't need to sit there and scan all the barcodes just from repetition of reselling those items. Or maybe you're big into video games. You already know, like, hey, that's a $30, $40 game right there. You can go grab it. It could be that for books or anything else. Shoes. Some people are really big into shoes, and they'd be like, hey, I know that's a $200 pair of shoes there for $20, right? So yeah, you just got to get started and kind of get your feet wet and kind of think about it as a learning experience. What's crazy to me is people spend 40, 50, $60,000 to go to college to get a degree. Then
Right.
they're just like, you don't want to spend $300, $400, $500 as a tuition to learn how to resell. Because like you graduate college, you have a degree, you're not guaranteed to get a job. Once you start learning this resale game, you can have this stream of income coming in every week, every month for the rest of your life. You just got to learn it. And the best way to learn is to trial and error and make mistakes and learn as you go, So
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to say hi to the Bargain Effect here for hanging out with us. And so Justin, we've had you on the show for 45 minutes. If you don't have anything else that you would like to talk about today, I want you to go ahead and give me your final thoughts.
Sure. I think that there's plenty of opportunity out there. I think there's plenty of opportunity if you're a new reseller or if you're somebody that wants to pay down debt or save money for college or put money into your kids' tuition or whatever. I mean, everybody has their own reasons for wanting to make extra money or to, or just to survive. I mean, things can be difficult, right now. And if you're looking to make extra money, I definitely think reselling is a great way to do that. Personally, I think it's low risk because you can buy things at lower prices and turn around and sell it online. And eBay and Amazon, these are fantastic ways to make extra money, but you don't have to use those platforms. There's other platforms out there you can use. I mean, I've bought stuff on Facebook Marketplace and turned around and sold it on Facebook Marketplace because people didn't have it listed properly or they didn't know like exactly what it was. And if you don't want to go out during the pandemic, like you can source, you can do online arbitrage. You can look on Facebook Marketplace. You can find deals on there. There's plenty of ways to find stuff to sell to make extra money, and you don't have to put yourself at risk. If that's beyond your comfortable threshold, then you don't have to go. There's tons of opportunities to make extra money. It's just about taking the time and the energy to do it. And like I said, putting forth the effort and taking action. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part.
Yeah, and there's retail arbitrage. I've been doing a lot of online arbitrage where you buy items in bulk, have them shipped to your house, and maybe you have a big wholesale lot of 100 or 500 items, and then you just chop them up, sell them up individually. We got a question from Lone Star Picker. He says, don't spend all the money, but he says, flip an accountant. Would you recommend saving a stimulus check for taxes? And another question, is there anything that you won't buy to resell?
Anything that I won't buy to resell. I won't buy anything illegal to resell. I will just about anything else I will buy to resell. I've sold just about everything that I can on Amazon. I am ungated in most categories: video games, Legos, toys, Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, sexual health and wellness. Just about any category you can think of, I will sell as long as it's not illegal or considered price gouging or an essential item, something like that. Because one, that's not the right thing to do, and then two, it gives you an opportunity for getting in trouble and being liable and stuff like that. Like, there are certain things that Amazon has cracked down on, and so has eBay, that they don't want you to sell. So those are the things that I will stay away from. I won't even risk it. If it's somewhere in the gray area, I'm not even going to risk it. My Amazon account is too important to me. My eBay account is too important to me. I'm not going to take a risk doing those, selling shady stuff on there. It's just, it's not worth it. I don't sell counterfeit stuff. People call it replica. Like, oh, this is a replica pair of shoes or a replica Beats headphones. Like, don't mess with that stuff, All
right. Justin, tell people where they can find you at on YouTube and Instagram.
Sure. So I try to keep it easy on all my platforms. The Flipping Accountant is my name on Instagram. TikTok, I made a TikTok account. I've been doing that for a couple weeks now. I don't know if you're on TikTok. Are you on TikTok, Jeff?
No.
Okay.
But I saw this guy on YouTube the other day, and he had a TikTok plaque that he was hanging up, and I didn't even know they had TikTok plaques. Did you see that he had like 100,000 subscribers on TikTok, and he had a big TikTok plaque in the background? I didn't even know they made them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, but I started a TikTok a few weeks ago thanks to David. Shout out to David. Wait, who is David? If you guys don't know him, he's on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Super nice guy, very informative. He has a lot of great information about liquidation stuff. But I made a TikTok a few weeks ago, and I don't have a big following. Like I have like 200 followers on there, but it's a good platform. They share some good information. But anyways, my handle is the same on all platforms. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the flipping accountant. That's I try to use the same name on just about everything. I'm trying to do more videos. I'm trying to get more consistent. I kind of figured out a secret to YouTube, Jeff, and I don't know if you know this, but if you like post more videos, you get more views and you get more subscribers and you get more people interacting. It's crazy. You actually put out content and people like respond. So I've been putting out more stuff and more people are responding and enjoying it and all that kind of stuff. And that encourages me like, hey, I need to work harder. I need to put out more content, and it's been going pretty good lately. So I'm trying to boost up, my efforts, I guess.
You'll get there. I think you're at like 500 subscribers. You'll be at 1,000 by the end of the year. And I was one of the people messaging you on Instagram saying, "Hey, make more YouTube videos." I was one of those people bugging you. So hey, we appreciate you hanging out with me today, Justin. I got your links down below for Instagram and YouTube. People come by and check your channel out. Come by and say hi. Come pick his brain. That's the best thing. Go ask him questions. And ask if you don't understand something, you have a question about eBay or Amazon, just ask, or taxes. You can ask him a question and he'll be able to help you out. So we appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me today, Justin. Hopefully we'll see you again soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jeff. I always appreciate being on, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Well, yeah, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, I'll see you guys. We have Chris from Daily Refinement is going to be here tomorrow at 4. I'll see you then.